Hi guys, today I'm finally speaking in English. I'm making this live session in English. I don't know who's here, who's not here. Just gonna wait for a couple of minutes more and then I'm gonna start talking about our today's topic, which is how we get attached to the results and how it interferes achieving our goals. Hi Shahid, I'm so happy you're here. I'm so happy you're here because I know that you've been waiting for that as well. So I hope for the feedback because, talking to the camera is a bit uncomfortable. So I hope for the support. I hope that you're going to be talking to me and whoever joins more. I made this live session before in Russian and now it's time for me to say something in English and actually finally get it done in English. I really want to, but there is not much demand, so that's why I speak mostly in Russian in all my stories and everything. And by the way, whoever is going to be watching it in recording, I just want to apologize in advance if I make some grammatical mistakes or errors or something. English is not my first language, so I'm just going to be talking however it goes. Don't judge me. How are you guys? Whoever understands what I'm talking about, because I have some Russian friends here as well. I'm saying hi to everybody. Wave me some highs. Всем здравствуйте. Я сегодня буду говорить по-английски, поэтому, если вы понимаете, присоединяйтесь. Если не понимаете, заряжайтесь энергией. Сейчас раскачаемся. All right. So, how do you see me? How do you hear me? From 0 to 10, maybe some feedback at least, guys. I would really appreciate that. We will not judge. Thanks. Thank you, guys. Yeah, I promise it's going to be in English. So even with my Russian friends, I'm going to be talking in English. So it's a good time for you to start talking or understanding the English language. Those especially who watched this live session in Russian, it's going to be a good practice. Hi. Здравствуй, Женечка. Alright, so let me just start the topic. And usually I start with a question. And the question is, how many of you do actually set goals? Do you set goals usually? I know many people do that, but if you can share your goal, what is your goal at the moment? What do you want to achieve? I'm going to be waiting for the feedback, if anyone's going to reply. And then I'm going to continue saying what I wanted to say. What is your goal at the moment? What do you want to achieve in your life? What maybe dream do you have right now? And maybe you can, sometimes we face the thing that, okay, I set the goal, but then I can't even achieve it. I mean, not that I can't, there's no result. I'm doing everything for it, but nothing happens. Making a difference in the world. So altruistic. This is so angelic. I love it. Making a difference in the world. This is amazing, really. And this is a big one, actually. But also for you can actually do that. Of course, you can make a difference in the world. Every single person makes a difference in this world when they open their potential, when they develop themselves, when they grow, when they do what they love. That's actually what makes the world change. With your own example, with your own experience that you share with the people, that's what changed the world, actually. Okay, so here we have, I have my special book with goals. That's good. I also have like notebook with goals and whatever, my dreams and whatnot, but sometimes there are too many that I don't even know how to make them real. Okay, so we put goals, and we know that, even from guys, if I have someone from uni here, Shahid, you know that for sure, in business school, they always tell us, you have to set a goal first. If you want like strategic development, any kind of development you want, you need to set a goal. And then you set a goal, and then you make a plan and whatever, and then you achieve it. And also, there is an interesting thing that... okay, no, I'm going to be talking about that later. So, we set the goals. But then there is another question. how many of you make requests before you start something? Before you start a day, before you start a new job, before you start anything, I don't know, even fasting, you know, for example, in Muslim culture, there, like before you fast, do you dedicate your fasting to someone, to something? Or you just do it like because you have to do it or something. And not only in Muslim culture, there is also like in Christianity there is fasting, there is in Buddhism or something, because this is something kind of spiritual. And I didn't know before that you can actually make a request before you start fasting. So when I fast, there's certain lunar days, you know, when you can fast, and I didn't know that you can dedicate it to someone. And then I started to dedicate it. I was like, there was a situation in my house that my brother and his wife, they fought or something, and it was pretty dramatic. So I was like, okay, I know that there is this fasting day coming up, and I want to dedicate this fasting to them. I want to dedicate this fasting to the peace in this house, and with my pure intention, with my pure heart. So what happens is the fasting like went fine, and maybe a couple of days passed, like later, people they were fine. Everything was good in the house, and I was really surprised. I was like, wow, seriously, I don't know if this works, and I don't know if this was a coincidence, if this happened by chance, but who cares if that works? And then I started making requests before I start a day. For example, I wake up in the morning and I say that, for example, I know that there's going to be a maybe tough meeting, or I know that the day is going to be hard or something. So I make a request that, and I make a request that I want this day to be, for example, to bring me success. I want this meeting to be great. I want, I don't know, whatever the request is. It can even relate like to the mood. I want everybody to be happy around me. I want this day to be just joyful, whatever it is. But we usually don't make requests before we start something. Before you start, okay, why do I always forget to do that? Before we start a job, what is your goal when you're starting this job? Obviously, like many people can say, success is the goal. Success is where I want to achieve. That's why I'm starting the job, duh. But that's not always the specific request. You know what I'm saying? It's vague. What is success to you? What is money to you? You want to achieve money, but what money means to you? Richness, you know, is very subjective definition. For some people, rich is, I don't know, having $1,000. For someone, $100,000 is not enough. You know, so what do all those things mean to you? What is success to you? So you start a new job. What do you want to do with this in your life? Like, I'm starting this job because I want to open up my potential, because I want to develop, because I want to grow to a specific, I don't know, level, whatever your goal is, again. And this actually changes the game a little bit. You don't always, because you start, you know, living not on automatic mode. You start living consciously. You know what you're doing. Every step is conscious. And this is pretty amazing, because then you can actually control what's happening in your life without having to blame others or whatever it is in the world that does not let you achieve whatever you want. Okay, let me just read a little bit. Goals, that is corresponds to me, become achievable automatically. But of course, I need to fix it. Of course, when we write the goals or something, it just sets in our head that, okay, this is the goal I want to achieve, and that's great. Because when you just dream and you're not writing it down, you're not putting it on the paper, it's just somewhere in the air, and like there's a high chance that you're not going to achieve it. That you're not actually going to do something for it. But when you write it down, for example, in your notebook or whatever, if you have a book of goals or something, then it's perfect, because your mind knows which direction we go. Okay, so now we know that, for example, we can make requests before we start doing anything. And the request thinking works actually so funny. When I remember, I think I told this story in my stories on Instagram, when I went to yoga and I was so late, and I didn't even have time to change my tights or something, and on my tights, like cologne, yeah, I put on the yoga leggings, and then it was so hot in the yoga session. Plus there was a new instructor who gave us this pretty intense practice, and I was sweating all over, and I was like, oh my god, seriously, this day when we have this tough instructor, I didn't like change properly, I didn't wear proper clothes, seriously. And then like maybe, I don't know, 15 minutes later or something, then there is a fire alarm goes on, and I was like, whoa, seriously. But there was nothing serious, so everyone ran away, and turned out this was like an testing or something. And then I went and changed, and I used this opportunity. But then I was thinking, okay, did this really happen? Because like I kind of made a request that I was feeling uncomfortable, and then I made a request that I want to change that. So that's how it happens. But that not always happens to everybody in the same way, because there is this thingy when you raise your vibrations, when most of the times you think positively, you are grateful for your life, and this is how you raise your vibrations. Then your dreams come true pretty quickly, you know. And if your dreams, for example, don't come true very quickly, or you know that you have to work super hard for these dreams or whatever, there are certain reasons for that, many reasons actually, but one of them is for sure this because you gotta raise your vibrations. So I was working on that pretty like for a while, you know, and then so I was working that for a while, for maybe like past 6 months or something, on raising my vibrations. So the requests work pretty quickly for me, and this is something anyone can achieve, anyone, and this is like 100% true. Okay, so now we set goals. We know that there are goals. We know what we want to achieve. We know we set them, and we have to go there. And the funny thing is that when I went to uni, I remembered in this management course how they were telling us, okay, so there are different types of managers, and there are those who enjoy the process or something like that. There is someone who's like result oriented, process oriented, and stuff like that, you know. And I was like, okay, and I think I chose process oriented or something, like enjoying the moment with the people around you or something like that. And it turns out not the best strategy in business. And they were saying that you gotta use the strategy of what do you call it? Result oriented, because when you have result in your mind, that's when you achieve your goal, because result is the main thing. That's what you should work for, because otherwise why would the business exist, you know? And that makes sense partially. There is an amazing thing called balance. We have to understand that if you think only about the result, and you always work for that result, you become somewhat blind. If that's the only thing in your eyes, you don't see anything that's happening around you other than the fact that you see your result. And there is a difference. Even, for example, if you read the books of, what do you call it? Power of Attraction, Power of Thought, and all those kind of books, you know that there is a concept called visualizing, you know, visualizing your dreams. And that's very important whenever you are building your dreams. You have to visualize perfectly the result, the end result. Where do you want to achieve? But there is a difference between visualizing your result, visualizing your dream, and like actually feeling that you already have it. And that's what the key factor is, to feel that whatever you want to achieve is already in you, that you already have it, that you already achieved it. This is the feeling that attracts that result that you want to achieve. And there is another thing, when you, for example, set a goal and you're like, okay, I need this, give me any like goal, I don't know. I want to earn $10,000 a month, for example. And you're like, okay, I need you see the goal. You probably, maybe once you visualize that dream or something, but then now your brain works. And it always starts thinking, okay, what do we have to do to achieve that goal? And you start working on that, and nothing happens. Nothing happens at all. And you're like, okay, I'm working so hard. I'm putting so much energy into it. Why does nothing happen? Why do I waste so much energy and there is no result? And the answer to that is that you're too focused on the result. Not that you get inspired by your own result, but you become stressed about it. You start being scared that this dream is not going to come true. You become this becomes a stress to your body, you know. And this is not just like inspiration and motivation to you to go and do whatever you're doing. Again, this becomes a stress. This becomes like, oh my God, where do I have to get like so many jobs to get like $10,000 income? Or if you're, for example, working in a job or something. And very true. Yeah, thank you so much. And then you become so stressful about it. Okay, where do I get money? Maybe I should get more jobs. Maybe I should, I don't know, what else? Maybe I should do something for freelance and things like that. And you know what happens? You are not even inspired by your own result anymore. You're not inspired by your goal anymore. But you're so stressed of how to achieve it. And you're so blind that you don't even exist in the moment of now. This moment. You're not enjoying anything you're doing at the moment. And this is the mistake that leads to not achieving. Okay, there was a, I think, network thingy. It's fine. You can see me. So this is how, this is the balance I'm talking about. You should set a goal. You should understand where you're going. But you should not be so focused on that it becomes a stress to your body, that it's not even inspiring anymore to you. You just sit there and think, oh my God, when will I achieve this? Or if I don't achieve this, I'm going to be suffering. Because when it becomes a stress to you, I call this thing I don't know, it becomes like an anchor that pulls you down. Because if you are scared to lose something, even with the law of attraction, you're going to lose that. If you're scared to lose something, if you're scared of something, you're going to get that. Why? Because you put energy into it. The universe doesn't care if you put your energy into something you want to achieve or into something you're scared to lose. You focus on that. Wherever you put the energy, wherever you put the focus, that's where the energy goes. And this is written in different spiritual books. It's written in that's what is being practiced in yoga also. This is self-healing. That's how it works. Where you put your focus, there goes the energy. And even in quantum physics, if you are interested about that as well, scientifically, it's proven how it works. The observer affects the reality. This might sound kind of scientific now if someone didn't read more about quantum physics or something, but I hope you understand what I'm saying. I hope it makes sense what I'm saying. But because I love this topic so much, like everything, all this spirituality, power of thought and all these things, so that I've been studying it like a lot from different point of views: religious, spiritual, scientific. And then I get this fear of facts, opinions, and then I get something pretty objective out of it, you know. Привет, Виколечка. So, and let me give you an example of what happens when you are attached to your goal a lot. And this is a pretty visual example, so be with me right now. Imagine maps. It doesn't matter what maps you use. For example, this is Google Maps. And we set a direction where we want to go, right? For example, if you're in Dubai and you're like, okay, I need to go to Burj Khalifa. You put that destination on the map and what do you call it? The map is going to show you the route. It's going to show you how you should achieve it. But when you're focused too much on your dreams, you know what happens? It's like you're taking your phone and you're zooming in to your destination. And you look into that into that destination, and you just look at Burj Khalifa and you're like, okay, so this is Burj Khalifa, that's where I want to achieve, that's where I want to go, and you just look at it. Because it's so zoomed in, You can't even see the whole way. You don't even know where you should go, because your eyes is all into that destination. So what you should do to understand where to go, you gotta zoom out. You gotta zoom out the maps. And when you zoom out those maps, when you zoom out that, you get to the point where you are at the moment. You don't need to see the whole way. You don't need to stare at the direction that you want to go, the point of destination. You don't have to stare at it like that and think that you're going to achieve your destination just by looking at it, because you're so focused on it. You don't see a way. So what you should do, you zoom out. And when you zoom out, you get to the point of now. You get to the point where you are right now. And then if you turn on the navigation, what does it show you? Does it show you like all, for example, 50 kilometers of the way zoomed out? No. It shows you where you are right now, and it shows you the first, first steps that you have to do. The navigation is going to show you. You should go right, you should go left, you should go straight or something. And that's all you need to know. You don't need to be focused so much on the destination. All you need to see is the first several meters. And then you follow them. And then you follow them slowly, and then you get to your point of destination, destination. You know, and that's exactly what happens with the dreams and goals. Also, if you watch the Secret documentary, if you watched it, there is this example of the car going in the dark, like at night, and the guy's driving at night, and the everything that the lights show us is like 50 meters from the car at night. That's all you can see. But you don't need to see more than that. That's all you need to see. And you see that the way is clear, you keep going. You see that there's something, you make turns or whatever. That's how it happens in your life. Be in the moment of now. Enjoy every second of the moment you're living right now. It doesn't matter whether it's hard thing, like a difficult situation or enjoyable situation, because everything is given for us, for our development. Even the toughest situations in your life bring you to the development, bring you to your growth, to the growth of your soul, for you to understand all the lessons that your soul chose to live through in this life. Okay, how's that going? Give me some feedback so I don't talk non-stop. Also, I have another example. When I was going on the escalator, Russian metro is so underground. The escalator goes it feels like you're going to heaven when you look up. So what do you call it? I'm going up on the escalator, but I'm so I'm in a hurry or something, and I understand that I can't just stand there and wait until the escalator is going to take me up, because it's going to take maybe 5-7 minutes or something. So I'm walking there, and I understand that there is a huge way it waits for me, but I don't look up. I am not focused on the destination where I need to achieve. All I'm focused right now on is the first couple of steps that I'm facing right now. And I start walking those steps just looking at the step in front of me. And I'm not looking up on the escalator thinking, oh my God, how much more do I have to go? And then when I look only at the step that's in front of me, I keep going, and I don't even notice that, okay, I'm finally on my destination. I didn't even notice, I didn't even get tired that I went through this way, and it was huge. So, in the contrary, when I go to yoga, for example, and there are some times where when my brain is so loud, when my mind doesn't shut up, and I can't enjoy the yoga practice, I always think about, oh my god, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to go here, I have to go there, and then what do you call it? And then I all the time check the time. How much time is left? How much time is left? And the yoga practice here in Moscow that I'm doing goes like 90 minutes. In Dubai, in uni, I remember we used to have like 1 hour and maybe even like 45, 50 minutes of practice and then 10 minutes for relaxation. Here it's like 90 minutes. 90 minutes of practice. Oof. You know, that's kind of pretty intense if you haven't been practicing for a while, you know. Especially if your mind doesn't let you relax. If you let your mind not let you relax. Oh my god, I hope you understood what I'm saying. So, and then every time I check the time and it's just like endless. I'm like, oh my god, when is this practice going to end? Because I have to do so many things more. But when I actually enjoy the practice, when I actually turn off all my daily to-dos in my head and I am being in the moment. I am feeling how my body is stretching on that practice. I am feeling how I move and how the energy flows inside my body. I don't even notice how those 90 minutes pass. So that's when you actually enjoy the moment. And this is when you get the best results. When you always set the goal and you see the result all the time and you're never at the moment. And when you achieve that goal, you're going to be like, oh, I achieved it. So what now? I'm not even satisfied as much. You know, like I ripped my ass off, sorry for that. But to achieve that goal, so it's not even that enjoyable anymore. Like you enjoy that for what? Like 1 hour, 1 day or something, and then you're like, whatever, you know? And then you're not really happy. But why does that happen? Because you're not enjoying the moment. Because you're not enjoying the moment of the process of achieving your goal. That's when the key goes. But if you enjoy every single moment, every single second of the process, when you achieve the goal, you look back at the way and you're like, wow, that was so amazing. I love this feeling of achieving this goal, but I also love the way that I passed. This was great because you were there. You were with your mind. You were there at that moment in that process, and this is what makes it amazing. So this is how I want to underline how it's important to enjoy every second of our lives. There are some people who live in the moment and they're like, oh, you know, I'm following the universal flow. You know, I'm just going with the flow and wherever life takes me, I'm just going to be there and that's going to be cool. Yeah, that's fun for a while. But again, let's not forget about the balance. We got to set the goal. You have to know where you're going, what direction you're going. But don't go into the extremes. Definitely understand. My mind can't shut up. You know, I really understand you. I always have this debate in my head between my mind and my soul. And for several years, I couldn't even understand the difference. When people were telling me, just listen to your heart, I was like, guys, come on. The heart doesn't speak. What are you talking about? How can you hear your heart? This was a really, really not like nonsense, but ununderstandable for me. I was not able to understand what they mean. What does it mean, listen to your heart? And it's quite a process itself to try to hear your soul. And it's very important. Because your soul, your heart, can you imagine this? It's like a king. And your brain, this sounds so rude, but for your vision, you should picture it. So your heart is the king, and your brain is the slave. It's the servant who helps you to understand how to achieve whatever your soul wants. It's not that We let our brain decide what we want. That's kind of a, what kind of strategy is this? Your soul knows what it wants. It feels what it wants. And then your brain finds a way how to achieve that. I used to do it in a different way. I was like, I think I want this. You think you want this. Excuse me? You should feel that you want something, not think that you want to achieve something. And interesting interpretation. Thank you. Because the heart is going to take you to the most right way. And I want to give you an example. Shahid, you're here, so I'm just like picturing you in front of me as if I'm telling it to you. So when I graduated from uni, I'm a bit like changing the topic here, but it's very important as well. I think it's going to be interesting to you. So when I graduated from uni, I realized that finance is not my thing. Not that I can't do it. I am able to do it. But how much of it do I really enjoy? Tiny bit. Seriously. I don't even enjoy it that much. I know how to do it, but it takes so much of my energy to actually work on it. Because that's not what I naturally love doing. What am I enjoying to do? I enjoy, I don't know, singing. I enjoy makeup. I enjoy any kind of art. Creating something. That's what I enjoy. And admitting that to myself was pretty scary. Because the unis in Dubai are so expensive. And I know that I spent 4 years of my life, and now understanding that it's not yours. Seriously? Couldn't you think about that like 4 years ago, before you started uni? This is the thoughts that you usually get. But it's scary to admit that. But yes, I freaking love creating. I freaking love art. I love working with people. I love all this self-understanding, self-growth, knowledge, and I want to develop in that. And then I was like, okay, so how do I tell that to my parents now? Because my parents are like, you graduate from the university, you find a great job, you go take your master's in finance, and you're going to be amazing. You're going to have an amazing career path, and that's going to be awesome. And I remember this conversation when we had in Ibn Battuta Mall in Dubai. So me and my mom and my dad were walking, and they're saying about their own fantasy of my future. And I'm looking at them, and that does not resonate with me at all. You're going to go to Moscow, you're going to take masters there, then you're going to find a job, you're going to have like perfect career and super finances. We're going to be so proud of you. We're going to tell the friends around that, oh my God, Nazli works there, here, and she's so like smart and whatnot. And I was like, whoa, I realized that it's not like what I want. It was hard to find a way to myself to actually realize that I don't want that. Because my brain had the power to control what my heart wants. My brain was thinking, you know what, Nazli? You want to achieve, you want to go to finance. You want to go to masters. You want to start working in the office. Why? Because logically it makes sense. Because logically that's what happens when you graduate from the university. Because logically that's what's going to make your parents happy and everyone around you. But what about you? Are you going to be happy from that? Are you going to be happy from achieving all those meaningless dreams if you don't want them? If you are motivated by the joy of others and not yours, who needs that sacrifice? This is, I'm sorry, but this might sound so rude, but this is pathetic. To follow the dreams of other people around you to make them happy without being happy yourself. That's not cool, guys. Hi, Dirchka. Hi, my dear. Oh, I love you. Thank you for joining. So, you know what I'm saying? But it's pretty scary to actually admit that. It's so scary to admit it. But then I went into that fear. I faced it and I told my parents, you know what, guys? I'm gonna start learning psychotherapy in Moscow. I'm gonna study for that. And then my parents look at me like, what? Excuse me? You're gonna do what? My dad gave me like 2 hours lecture then in the mall, almost shouting at me, saying, what is this weird dreams? Why do you guys always want to do into this? You want to go into that psychology. Why can't you just monetize your freaking diploma? Why can't you just start working in the normal job? And I was like, whoa. I couldn't even expect this amount of negativity. But then what happens? What happens is, like a couple months before that, I made a request that I want to follow my heart only now. I will learn how to follow my heart. I will try to learn to listen to my heart, to understand what people say, what they mean when they say it. So I made a request. And then the universe is going to test you for that. You set a certain plank. And now you have to prove that. It's like when you go to uni, for example, and you take any class, right? Let's say accounting. And you're like, okay, now I'm putting a plank that, okay, I'm going to be knowing accounting now. But then in uni, we have the exams. Okay, now prove me that you know the accounting. The same thing with your life. I made the request, okay, now I will be following my dream. And now universe is testing me. Okay, show me the proof that you want to follow your dreams, you follow your heart. And my dad is like... Да, можно писать на русском, но говорить буду по-английски. Sorry for that. So, and my dad was like a tester. My dad was a professor in this lesson that I put myself. And he was shouting at me saying, da 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 da. At the moment, I just stopped this picture. I'm like, you know how the movie Matrix, like, I went out of this matrix. I look at the situation from a wide angle. I look at it and I see what's happening right now. I am not being offended that my dad is giving me all this huge lecture. But I realize that he's testing me right now. His soul is testing me right now. He doesn't even understand it himself. It goes unconsciously. And when I realized that, I was like, okay, this is even interesting. I almost had a smile on my face while he's shouting at me, and this is kind of funny. So for like 2 hours or something, my dad was giving me this lecture. I was like, you know what, Dad? Okay, I'm just gonna accept what you're saying. Let us go to Moscow, and we're gonna like move from that. Let us see later. And then when we go to Moscow, and I keep doing my stuff. I keep studying all those books about self-development, about spiritual growth and all these things. You know, I just do whatever I love doing, whatever I enjoy doing. I understand that there's going to be, it's going to be pretty tough conversation with my parents, like with my parents later, but I'm not thinking about that. I'm just enjoying what I do right now. And that was learning all those things, reading all those books, going through all those trainings and seminars, webinars, courses, and everything. And then what happens is, when I go to Moscow, Shahida is still here. So I found a job. I found a job very quickly. And it was KPMG. I found a job at KPMG. Hi, Ilya. And you know how much we think about getting into Big Four, into the Big Four companies, accounting and service what do we even call them? Consulting companies. And okay, then listen to the story. You're gonna love this. I applied to KPMG and I started working. I was like, okay, I'm giving. Thank you. Have a good day too. So. And it's all in Russian, you know. I applied, and when I was in uni, I was like, okay, maybe 1 year I'm gonna be working in in the office, and then I'm just gonna move away from that. I'm giving myself 1 year to actually understand and realize and prove myself that I don't love doing it, that I don't enjoy working at the office. And then, so I find this KPMG offer. I'm like, perfect, great start to check if this is my thing or no. I applied to it. I passed the test. They're calling me for the interview. There was a phone interview. Then I passed the phone interview. They called me to the office, and then we had like tons of tests there. They were interviewing me there. It was a case study. One, there was case study. Second, there was like a conversation with the managers. Third one, conversation with another manager. And it wasn't conversation, it was a test. It was all accounting test. So that you understand, I learned all the accounting in English, and how ironically I have to now explain everything in Russian, which I did not even know. For like 2 weeks, I've been reading all those books in Russian, and everything that we learned for 4 years in uni about accounting, about finance, I had to tell them in Russian. That was so funny. Oh my god. And so bit by bit, I passed every level. After like a week or something, I'm waiting for their response. And I wanted it so much. I sincerely wanted to get there. But the funny thing, okay, I'm going to tell that later. Listen. So after 1 week, they call me and they're telling me, okay, Nazli, we're taking you. We liked you and we want to offer you a job. I was like, what? KPMG is offering me a job? I was like, oh my god, this is like, we couldn't even dream about it. And I wouldn't say it was like super hard, but it was pretty stressful and everything, but it happened so quickly. And I was like, oh my god, I'm going to be working at KPMG. And then they sent me an offer. They were telling me, okay, but just, we are, hi. They were like, okay, but we're just telling you in advance that there are going to be a lot of working hours. You're going to stay late and everything. I was like, okay. And then they give me an offer letter that says that I can't do anything other than working there. Because it's auditing. Because I was going to go into auditing of banks and conflict of interest and all that issue and all those stuff. And then once you start working there, then they put you in different ACCA tests and whatnot. And so if you can't even leave the company. If you leave the company before you get promoted, you gotta pay them for all those tests and books that they spent on you. I'm like, okay, that's pretty interesting. So that means that for 1 year, I'm stuck there. Because promoting goes once a year. And I'm like, whoa. So, long story short, I realized that I didn't want to work there. That all these desires that I had to actually get into there was my ego. To prove myself that I can actually achieve it, that I can actually get into that job. But I did not even want to work there. Who did I want to prove to? Probably myself and my parents. But it's so meaningless. But it's good that I realized that before getting into that job. Because maybe I would have taken someone else's place who actually sincerely wanted to work there. You know what I'm saying? And now it was so scary to admit to myself that I don't want to work in the office. In this huge office. Plus my dad was so proud. He was like, good job, now you're gonna get a perfect, amazing resume, and then you're gonna have a CV and everyone's gonna want to take you. I'm like, that's not what I want. That does not inspire me. But I couldn't admit it to him. Then I get kind of a depression for like a day or two, and my mom notices it. And then she's asking me, so what's happening to you? What happened to you? I'm like, Mom, I don't know how to tell that to my dad, but I feel that I don't want to work there. She was like, what? What are you talking about? Just try. It's going to be fine. You're going to enjoy it. Or maybe you're going to start working for a couple of months. And if you don't like it, you can always leave. But you should try. And it made sense to me. I'm like, yeah, why would I just say no just like that without even trying? But my mood wouldn't like become better. So I go to then we start a dinner with my dad and my mom tells my dad, like, give her some support. She's a bit worried about the work and everything. And my dad he noticed my weird mood for a while, and then he looked at me and he's like, you don't want to work there, do you? And I'm just saying nothing. And he's like, if you don't want to go there, just don't. That's fine. And the spoon just got stuck in my mouth. I was like, what? My dad? The one who 1 month before that was giving me a lecture of how I should monetize my diploma, how I should go for finance and I should realize myself there, now is telling me it's fine to say no to freaking KPMG. I was like, okay, now I see how it works. This is the test I was talking about, you know? I passed the test. The person who was shouting at me the most gave me the biggest support at that moment. And this is just priceless. It is priceless. I was like, okay, now all the responsibility is on me, and I can't even say that if I go work there, it's going to be for my parents. No. If I want to go there, I go. If I don't want, I don't want to go. And there is a fear then comes out next. What now? Okay, you're going to say no to the opportunity right now. But then what you want to do, there is like a darkness there. So we have two pictures here. One is a perfect, clear path of where you want to go. And one, the path that is like you can't even see, but your heart is there. Your heart is not there. You can see everything, the clear, amazing career. It doesn't it doesn't bring light into my heart when I think about that. But when I look in the darkness, I know that my heart is leading me, but I see no way there. And it's so scary. But you should go there because your heart is there. Because you feel that's where you want to go. And what happens is I called them, I said them, sorry guys, like I can't join you for this reason, whatever. And you know, when you jump into that darkness, but you know that your heart is there, you know it's freaking scary, but you go there. The path, the way starts appearing under your feet. The ground appears under your feet. You don't need to see the whole way. All you need to see is the first step. Make a first step. And then the ground is going to appear. And this is what happened. So I said no to them. It was so scary. The nightmares that went through my head was indescribable. But I was like, okay, I told myself that I'm gonna start following my heart, no matter how illogical my decisions will be. I will be following my heart. And so I'm gonna just do that. And I went there. And then a week later or something, these guys contact me saying online school of self-realization, self-growth and everything that I'm interested in. And I was taking many of their courses, seminars and whatever. It was a startup online school, and they were like, don't you want to work with us because we know you took so many courses with us, you know everything, and like, don't you want to be our partner, like and work with us in terms of being a strategic manager of our company and be a what do you call it, curator of the course, you know, like those who give the feedback to the people, who looks for the homeworks and checks everything and all that stuff. And I'm like, hell yeah, I want to work there. Hell yes, this is what I want. And only 1 week passed after I said no, and the number of things happening at that moment was so like so many of them. I couldn't even count. Like I couldn't even realize what's happening. There was situation after situation, test after test, and then so I was going through my lessons so quickly, and I was pretty grateful for that. So I said yes to them, and then we started working together. That's what I do right now. I just stopped doing the strategic management things because I realized that's not what I want to do, because it takes a lot of my energy, and I'm not enjoying it, and I don't have time then and don't have energy to actually do my own stuff. But that's all different topic about self-realization of my way and everything. I wanted to tell you guys how it's important to enjoy the moment. And even those moments that I was living through, I was at that moment. I was living through that moment. I was not, I tried to picture where I want to go. There was like a very vague picture, but and it was just in my head, somewhere in my head, but I was in the moment. I was like, I'm just going to listen to my heart and I'm just going to follow it. And this feels amazing. This feels amazing and it gives you the best results. So follow your heart. Follow your heart and listen to yourself. It might be so hard to do, but learning how to do it is definitely worth it. It takes time. It takes energy. If your brain is very loud right now, because mine was, and it still is, and I'm still working on it, and I'm still working on balancing it. Yoga actually helps a lot, big time, of stopping this loudness, or lowering the loudness of the brain, bringing up the loudness of your soul, and keeping the balance. This is something I do yoga for, and it's wonderful. Plus, my body shape becomes better. So, follow your heart, listen to your heart, learn how to listen to your heart. It always speaks to you. It always speaks to you. Your soul always tells you something. Learning how to listen to it is an art. It's a skill. Hi, Kazbek. Of course, my loves. Hi. So, you listen to your heart. Set your goal. Once you understand what you want, once you felt through what you want, not think. When you felt what you want, then just go and start doing what you're doing. Enjoy every moment. Enjoy every single bit of it. Picture the dream in your head. Picture the final result. Live through it. Feel it through your every cell of your body. The result that you want to achieve. Live it through. Imagine that you've already achieved it. But then let it go. Let that dream go. Even there is this called a map of dreams or something. When you build it properly with all the rules, there is a practice called letting go your dreams. Because once you visualized it enough, you felt through it, and it was perfect, then you have to let it go. You have to let the universe help you achieve whatever you want to achieve. What does it mean to let go the dreams? It means to get back to the moment of now. To come back to this moment and enjoy this moment right now. And this is indeed wonderful. To enjoy all the things that happen to you right now, whether it's tough situation or no. I should make another live session about how bad situations are good for us as well. If there is going to be demand, I'm going to be talking about that too. So, and that's it. Listen to your heart. Feel what you want to do. Set the goal. Feel the goal through. Feel it fully with all your body. And then let it go. Come back to the moment of now and enjoy. This is a summary of today's talk. Thank you so much for being with me. I am really, really thankful. If you have questions, please feel free to ask me. You can ask me later if you watched in recording. You can ask me questions later if you want. Definitely, I am so interested. My love, I should make lectures just for you. Where are all those people who voted yes? Where are you guys? I hope you're going to be listening it in recording. Sending you all love. Huge, huge, huge love. Thank you for sharing. Thank you so much, Ahad, for being here with me all this hour. I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much, guys. Whoever is watching, whoever is going to be watching, be happy, guys. Enjoy the moment. I love you all. Love you all. Thank you so much.